Do you miss being a youth sports coach?
God, no.
Really? There's nothing that you liked about it?
There were a lot of things I liked about it, but the parents were so awful that they ruined all of it.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I get that. But I assume working with kids, helping them get better, helping them have fun, growing young minds, molding future leaders, molding future Hall of Famers, Ben.
You okay, dude?
I'm fine. Don't worry about
it. You clearly remember coaching much differently than I do.
Really? How so?
Well, coaching was like getting your kids to clean their room, except there's 15 of them. And they're all swinging metal clubs.
Ooh. Cleaning rooms while swinging metal clubs, that seems problematic.
And ineffective. And honestly, all of them were just dumb. But you know, there was this one kid. He absolutely broke me.
You shouldn't say that about your own kid, then. Come on.
No, this wasn't even my own kid. His name was Sean. Sean, what was his last name? Oh yeah. Sean Encarnacion. Most absent-minded, forgetful person I ever met. This kid would lose his own head if you didn't duct tape it on.
Wait, what?
And when you found his head, because he never did, it would be talking to some other kid into taking his head off. And then they'd run off into left center field, which went forever because there's no fences at that level. You know, and waggling their arms while they screamed, which was incredibly loud because they left their heads behind and you'd be standing right next to them.
I'm not sure I'm understanding.
You know, there was this one time, Sean was on second base to end an inning, and he comes back into the dugout after Cliff McGillicuddy struck out because Cliff was always striking out. And he just stands there, head under his arm, picking its nose. And I say, Sean, you got to get out there. Out where? He says. Right field, you numbskull. He taps his own head with his knuckles, and then he says, ow. And then he smiles and says, see, my skull's not numb. So I just yell, get out there! And he says, but I can't. I don't have my glove. I didn't think I'd need it. So I just yell at him, go get it! You know, I've had it. I've had it. And he runs off. Never saw him again. They might have asked me to stop coaching after that.
Do you think he ever found his glove?
Doubt it. Bob, hit it!
Welcome to Giant Cocktails, where the humor is elite, but the baseball sucks. Oh yeah, here are your hosts, Ben and Matthew Henry.
Bob, I think if they keep sucking, we might have to have you change up that intro.
I don't have it in the budget, man. I think we're going to have to stick with that for the rest of the season.
Okay, well, we're going to be hearing a lot of that one, I guess. Anyway, welcome to episode 358 of Giant Cocktails. Matthew, Kelby Tomlinson had a .358 on-base percentage for the 2015 San Francisco Giants. Tomlinson hit .303 and had an OPS plus of 110. That's 10% above average. While appearing in 54 games after being called up in August of that year. He got a base hit in his first major league at-bat, a pinch hit appearance in the 12th inning in Atlanta. He scored the go-ahead run, only for the Giants to give up 2 in the bottom of the 12th after Brandon Crawford's throwing error and a home run allowed by Ryan Vogelsong. This was 2015, remember, Matthew? So this was post World Series. This was on the downslide.
Yes, that one inning summed up 2015. Quite well.
Agreed. Well, anyway, Tomlinson played 4 seasons with the Giants before becoming a free agent in 2018, and he never played in the majors again. Tomlinson became a certified optician, and with his wife Tiffany, opened an eyewear shop called Squints in Liberal, Kansas in 2020. Matthew, why did you write this like it was like a little bio for Kelby Tomlinson's like optician of the year award for the Liberal, Kansas like Rotary Club?
The more I saw that and saw it was Kelby Tomlinson, he was the underdog that you rooted for, right? Because the glasses, the build, you were like, there's no way this guy's a Major League Baseball player. And yet he did it for like 4 seasons and he wasn't terrible. He was great. And I thought when he named his optician shop Squints, that might have been his nickname. But Baseball Reference says it was Specs.
Oh, Specs. So, well, I mean, they were quite notable. Yes. His Coke bottles. His Coke bottles were quite notable.
Enough with the banter. Let's talk cocktails.
You're right, Bob. Enough Kelby Tomlinson talk. Hit me.
What are you drinking, Ben?
Bob, today I'm drinking a cocktail called the Out of Work Child Actor.
You really got to start thinking of titles before we actually go on air.
I didn't even think it. I was going to say I'm drinking a Shirley Temple, but I'm like, no, this is not a Shirley Temple.
That name's already been taken, Ben.
And to be fair, yeah, like I thought that's what I was drinking, and then I realized, nope, you didn't use grenadine, you didn't use ginger ale. You added bitters. So, yeah. Anyway, folks, today it is actually Thursday afternoon as we are recording this podcast. And we're going to release the episode a little bit later today. So that's why it came out so late today, because we wanted to be able to talk about the whole series, especially after how the first 2 games went. Anyway, the point is I need to drive later, so I can't drink. So I, for the first time, am going completely sober in an episode of Giant Cocktails. Well, I think there were a few where I was very sick, but that doesn't count. And so anyway, I'm drinking a mocktail called the Out of Work Child Actor, and I will tell you what's in it at the end of the episode.
What are you drinking, Matthew?
Bob, I am not driving after this, and I am spending the afternoon at my house. So I'm drinking a cocktail I'm calling
Fire Truck
King Reds. And I'll tell you all about it at the end of the episode.
Why is it called Fire Trucking Reds, Matthew?
Well, Bob bleeped me out. That's not really what it's called.
Oh, that's not what you said. That's not what you said?
No.
Okay. I get it. Well, anyway, today is Thursday, April 16th, as we record this podcast. Yes, as I said earlier, we were recording a little bit later than usual for our midweek episode because we had a window of availability to record the episode after Thursday's game because it was so early in the morning. So that's what we're doing. And it's a good thing, too, because the San Francisco Giants were 0-2 before this morning. But they're 50% better than that now.
If we had recorded last night, it would have been a very, very different podcast, Ben.
We would have been doing what they were on the rap. Like, I really like the spirited at-bats in the latter half of the game. Like, blah-bitty-blah.
I really like that Rafael Devers broke his bat after striking out.
Yeah, wasn't that great? Oh, they showed some spunk and spirit. You're like, I'd show you my spirit, and it certainly isn't any spunk. I'm not nearly excited enough for... Oh, wait, what? No. Okay, so anyway, the record was 1-2 to bring their overall record to 7-12. That's 5 games under 500, Matthew. That is 3 games away from homeostasis. Like, I don't know where we are right now.
We're the sweep of the Nationals away from homeostasis, Ben.
I love how you were like so optimistic about them getting back to being 2 games under 500.
I say these things thinking that one day I'll be right. And then I can be like, hey, I was right.
Yeah.
It hasn't happened yet, but I'm hopeful.
No, yeah. I mean, a lot of weird things happened in 2021, but I'm starting to think that really didn't happen. Like that we both got blackout drunk and that was like some sort of hallucination.
Yeah, that was like a glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, what are we going to be talking about today? Well, we're going to talk about the Red Series, but not just the games. We're going to talk about how the horrible bullpen, which is totally broken and needs to be fixed, which is probably still true. It does have some holes in it. Totally and absolutely is the best part of the team and totally effing dominated the Reds every chance they got. Maybe the bullpen should hit more. And then, Matthew, we're going to take a look at the Hunter Pence effect. This is the highest ranking job that Hunter Pence ever had. Is that right? This is his first time as the guy.
It is.
Yeah. Who do you think is more uncomfortable right now, him or Tony Vitello?
Oh, him.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the old effect that Hunter might or might not be having on the Giants. I'm a big proponent that that it's the guys who do it that are the most to blame. But some might say it's Hunter Pence's fault, and Matthew has some pretty convincing evidence that it's all his fault. So Matthew's gonna have a go at Hunter Pence in the second half of this show. But before we get to that, before we get to Matthew's super negative takedown.
Oh. I don't like being called super negative. That's not.
I know you
that's
don't.
not like my persona, Ben.
Yeah, I know. But sometimes, your brother puts you in awkward situations.
Well, sometimes the Giants hitting puts you in awkward situations.
Yeah, that's really more what it is, right, Hunter? Yeah.
And to be clear, not Hunter Pence.
No,
Hunter
definitely
Pence.
not Hunter Pence. I don't know why you would think that. Their names are very different. But it's time for some tidbits. Matthew, you were in a bad place during the Red Series. You were texting me all kinds of crazy ideas and things like, I think we should DFA Devers and I think Gage should be our cleanup hitter. It was just crazy stuff. But before it got to all of that, you were definitely advocating for a roster shakeup, right?
I was like, we need to option Oliva. Like, if we're not using him, let's bring up somebody like Brennan. Like, I was texting you all these ideas. And then I wake up the next morning and boom, there's all these injuries and things like got changed and maybe for the better.
Yeah, like the outfield, which remember, people, as we talked about, I think it was on last episode, how bad the outfield was. Suddenly the outfield got a big makeover as both Harrison Bader and Jared Oliva hit the IL. Apparently Bader he hadn't played in a couple of days, so we all knew something was up. But then they popped him onto the IL, and we apparently it's his hamstring that had been bothering him since spring training. Is that right? Is that what I remember? Is that what I heard? Is that what this BS is? Like, he's been hurt the whole season.
Well, then there was another injury, and I'm forgetting what it is now. It was something like his wrist or something like that. There was some other, yeah.
Well, I did hear them say on the radio that he's very excited to go on his rehab assignment where he can go feast on minor league pitching. And all
Get
I
his
can say
confidence
is,
up. Yes.
Yeah, best of luck to you, sir, because whenever I say I'm about to feast on minor league pitching, I get the platinum sombrero. Story of my life. Anyway, instead of Oliva and Harrison, it is now Drew Gilbert and Will Brennan, who you will remember we also said both were hitting quite well down in Sacramento. So, and we saw today that Gilbert is the new center fielder. JHL stays in right. And it looked like today that we might have a little bit of a platoon situation going on in left field.
Thank God.
Wow. You're gonna just take a shot at Elliott like that? Just boom.
Maybe that was undeserved. But no. Yes. I am taking a shot at Elliott.
Okay.
We're at the point of the season now where you got to like put up or shut up,
Yeah.
And the Giants agree because man, they call up Brennan and Gilbert and wham, put them right into the starting lineup.
That's why we should call up Bryce Eldridge and bench Rafael Devers because it's time to put up. right?
I gotta tell you that Rafael Devers and Elliot Ramos are not the same.
Oh, really? I can't just apply the same philosophy to both of them?
No.
Oh, I guess. Okay. I guess that makes sense. So yeah. So we had our roster shakeup. I don't think that Gilbert or Brennan really shook things up.
Not yet. You know, but I'm looking forward to more Drill Gilbert shenanigans.
The thing about Gilbert is his one thing about defense is his reads aren't always the best, right? And sometimes he breaks in on a ball when he should not. And I did see a little bit of that today. And
but he still made every play. Come on.
But he still made every play. Yeah, because he's that fast, right? Yeah, because speed kills, folks. Speed is the great equalizer. It doesn't matter how tall you are, how long your legs are. It's all about turnover, folks. It's all about... Sorry, I'm just reliving my past. Sorry. Anyway, Matthew, we need to talk about the Red Series.
Yes, we do. We only won one game. On to the next.
We did only win one game.
We should have won 2, though, Ben.
We should have. But if you're going to be that way about it, we should have won 3. Although I get it, it's hard to say that about game 2.
Can't make the argument for game 2.
It's hard to make that argument for game 2, but I'm going to try when we get there.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I do want to just say that Robbie Ray. This is why I'm assuming you're saying we should have won 2 games, because we should have won the Robbie Ray Winday game. Robbie Ray, 5 innings pitched, 6 strikeouts. Unfortunately, he gave up 2 earned runs, which was way too much for the Giants to come back from.
Yeah. And it kind of felt that way too, right? Like, 2 solo home runs and you're like, oh, they've lost. Like, you just kind of felt that way.
Yeah, 2 solo home runs from one dude. Maybe he did share some of the mojo with Adames that day. Yes, maybe he did. Maybe he did. And to top it all off, it's not like the crappy bullpen. Because, Matthew, I heard some people were saying that the bullpen was going to be the weakest part of the team.
Some people said that. I don't know who said that, but it wasn't me.
Yeah, some idiots. Well, this one particular idiot. And boy, was he wrong. Now, I'm not saying the bullpen was is perfect, right? I mean, we got to do something about Yucky, right? Like that is like a non-starter. And I don't mean like he's a reliever, like he's not a starter. I mean like he shouldn't be in the game is what I mean. Right? Like he should be out there in right field like Sean Encarnacion. You know what I'm saying?
With his head underneath his arm.
With his head underneath his arm. That's where I would like to see Bo Rucky. I don't know.
I don't know why Bo Rucky's getting shots. He didn't do terrible this series.
Well, I mean, he was good, but I mean, like he's just been the weak point. But they were all good. I mean, but especially Caleb Killian. But Wynn and Walker, they were all good. They were. And I do want to let you know that it wasn't one player hitting the home run off Robbie Ray. It was Steer and Stewart. No, okay. So I'm sorry.
You were conflating the 2 games where all the home runs happened.
Yeah, I was saying that Adames hit 2 home runs. But the fact of the matter is, like, other guys did hit the ball. They just didn't string them together at the right time, and they didn't get the big hits. And it was just one of those games where you're just like, why can't these guys who are all established veterans like do their job? Which is not a new thing we feel this year. It's like the same old.
Well, I was just saying, I think we need to just like capture that audio that you just said, and we'll just replay it on repeat every episode.
That's every episode. Yeah, it's just that. Just me saying that for 45 minutes to 55 minutes. Well, that's what it feels like. And folks, if that's what it sounds like to you, I mean, you do a different show every day about a team who sucks the same way for 18 games.
I do want to say that our eyes got 3 hits on Tuesday after getting bit by a beaver.
After that savage beaver attack. This one rabid beaver, Matthew, savagely attacked him.
And bounced right back and got 3 hits.
Yeah, well, and they didn't even put him down, the beaver. He just got away with it. Didn't even get a warning. Anyway, yeah, he came back with 3 hits. Yeah, I hear it was that castor oil. Okay, I guess it's called castor oil. Mm-hmm.
How would you attribute Jung Hoo Lee getting 2 hits?
Pure dumb luck.
Okay.
No, because that's actually another theme through this series. JHL finally looks good. But here's the question. Is this like the JHL who looks good for like 2, if we're lucky, 4 weeks? Or is this a JHL who we see consistently, and maybe not even this good, but just a little bit not this good, but consistently for the rest of the year? I hope so.
I hope so.
I hope so. But yes, this series, JHL broke through. And, well, it's a good thing that we had Robbie Ray pitching like that, and we have this newfound, unexpectedly good bullpen. Because as we know that the Giants are not going to score runs to win baseball games. And so we go into the Wednesday game. Matthew, do we have a Trevor Malley problem?
You've used the name Trevor Malley so many times that, I think we're both getting confused what his actual name is.
I was looking for him on Baseball Reference today, and I kept typing in Trevor Malley, and I was like, why can't I find him? And then I realized, no, that's just, you've been so mean
Tyler.
about his name.
But 4 innings pitched, 8 hits, 8 runs, all earned, 5 walks.
Oof.
He did strike out 6 in 4 innings pitched.
Okay, you said 5 walks like it was like the big scary thing on this line, Matthew. I'm looking at another number here. I don't give a rat's patootie about the 5 walks.
Well, the 400 home runs allowed might also jump out there, but I will say that they wouldn't have been 3-run home runs if he wasn't walking guys ahead of them.
That's true.
So give up the solo home run. That's fine. But
no, it's not.
3-run home runs, no.
Matthew, can the Giants come back from a 4-0 deficit right now?
Well, no. They cannot.
Okay, I rest my case. It didn't matter how many guys he walked. It just, it didn't matter. But boy, that was the worst start in Tyler Malle's career. And consequently also the worst start of his Giants career. Matthew, he leads the league in home runs allowed, and yes, I get it. That's with 6, and 4 of those came in one game at one of the most home run friendly ballparks in all of baseball. I get it, but still, this is a guy who's supposed to be a control pitcher, and he's walked 9 guys in his last 2 starts, which is like 10 innings. He's giving up basically a walk an inning. And that's bad. That's really bad.
And you can't blame Sal Stewart. By the way, a rookie, first baseman, with eyebrows, man, that just don't quit. Wait,
did
you see that dude's eyebrows?
Dude, I'm not ever looking at guys' eyebrows.
I mean, you couldn't avoid looking at them. They were just so thick and full, and like he has a mustache as well, and I couldn't tell where the eyebrows ended and the mustache started.
Why am I getting the sense that you're saying this with a little bit of row?
I'm saying with a little level of awe, how much hair is on his face that's not a beard, more than I got, that's for sure. And apparently that means you just get to launch home runs. Ben, why don't we have rookie first basemen that can hit home runs?
Because they're getting seasoning, Matthew. That's what you told me. They're getting salted. I don't know.
That's right. That's right. They need some MSG. They need some MSG.
They need an MSG. That's what you said. That's why we don't have rookie first basemen hitting home runs. I don't. That's a Sean Encarnacion type of question. God. But anyway, you know who was good in the second game, Matthew?
Daniel Susak.
Well, yes, he was. Yes, he was. Yes, this was a good series for Daniel. I agree. He almost tied up the game on the last out of the first game.
Oh, that was
he launched
close.
it.
Yeah,
He
and we
launched
all
it.
thought that was gone, did we? Because it was
We
the
did.
Susac effect. Like, we were like, oh,
Yep.
yeah, that's gone.
Yep, we were like, oh, that's a game tire. Yep. And he came up there, and he was pinch hitting for Patrick Bailey from Patrick Bailey's quote-unquote good side. But I was looking at Bailey's career stats, and folks, he's equally bad from both sides. I don't know why people say he has a good side. The numbers
Did you
are
look at it
almost...
from the 7th inning on, though, Ben? Did you look?
I didn't do that. I didn't. Okay, so that's when he has the strong side. Well, that hadn't been working so far this year, folks, and so yeah, the Mr. I don't pinch hit for anybody pinch hits Susac for Bailey on his good side, quote unquote good side.
Well, and he was rewarded. I mean, the next day, Susac went 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. He was the Giants' offense.
Right, but also good in this same game, Matthew, was again the bullpen, and as you said, including Yucky, who was not so sucky. He was plucky.
Plucky Borucky. Okay.
Plucky Borucky was effective, right? Like they came in and they really righted the ship after old Trevor basically burned the whole ship down. But some interesting things, like Tidwell came into that game throwing absolute gas, and I was like, why didn't they bring this guy in earlier? Right, because he's like the long man, But I heard them say on the after, like maybe on the radio show, they're conjecturing that maybe they don't want Tidwell to be the long guy. Maybe they want the Tidwell that throws 97.
I want the Tidwell that throws 97.
I want the Tidwell, yeah, and like you know what, like if he keeps throwing like that, right? Remember, he replaced Buteau, who was obviously ineffective for very obvious and good reasons. Right, so that was a big improvement to the bullpen. It's an improvement we didn't know we needed. But we got it, and so, like, yeah, if we have a guy throwing 97, that would be great. But this is not the reliever I want to talk about. Because, Matthew, there was a little bit of chippiness. There was a moment when Mr. Brubaker, I'm gonna say his name correctly, because this was good. Yeah. I like this moment.
Good old JT.
Yeah. This BS guy, what's his name is like Bull? Pucky? What's his last name? Steer. Right. Okay. Yeah, you can see where I went wrong. He gets a late timeout. He gets a BS timeout. Now there's two villains here, right? Right. The batter's a villain because he asked for the timeout.
And the umpire's the villain for giving it to him.
Exactly.
Like with 7 seconds left on the pitch clock, the batter has to be ready. You can't just be calling a timeout like with 3 seconds left on the pitch clock. That's BS.
Well, I mean, the batter can call timeout whenever he wants. The ump doesn't have to give it.
The ump doesn't give it to him. Right.
Correct. So anyway, the Brubaker didn't like that. And so then on the next pitch, he holds the ball as long as he possibly can until he has to. And then he begins his movement, like with 1 second left. And you can even see Steer say, throw the fire trucking ball, as Bob would say. And so, yeah, it set the table for Game 3 where there was more chippiness. But before we talk about the chippiness in Game 3, Matthew, I'm going to stand to the side. Who was the star of Game 3?
Landen Roupp for Cy Young.
That's right. Extra long Roupp there, and Bob's backing me up. Landen Roupp for Cy Young because, damn, he pitched well.
You are like a little purple, dude. You're like a little purple around the eyeballs.
What you get when you just take a deep breath and let it all out.
Okay, sure. Okay, yeah, Landen Roupp was great. Loved it. More of that. But it was being wasted, Matthew. It was being wasted. Again. But then up comes Matty Chapman, And that's the thing about Matty. He has this way of just appearing and doing Matt Chapman things when you least expect it. You're just like, oh yeah, Matt Chapman. And Chapman hits a effing double right over that stupid BS guy's head. And then they just tack on another hit, and another hit, and another hit. Your punching bag, Elliot Ramos. My punching bag, Jung-Hoo Lee. And the next thing you know, they're winning 3-0. And that's no problem, right? 3-0 with the 3 innings to go. Not a problem for our bullpen.
I didn't feel confident.
No, I didn't feel confident at all, especially when Ryan Walker came in. I'm sorry, Ryan, but it's you know why. And I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it. But during all of that, Matthew, there was more chippiness.
Yes, there was.
Because Landen Roupp earlier in the game put one up on old BS guy's shoulder for being a whiny
Beach ball.
Exactly, that's what I said, Bob. So then they decide they're going to hit Adamas, right? And they miss him the first time. It's like so stupid. Okay, how Sean Estes can you get? And then they nail him on the second time, and then again.
The pitcher got thrown out, but he was already going to get taken out. So it was kind of like the umpires got to do what they got to do, but it really didn't have an impact on the game.
But then after that, Miller closes out the 9th, and our bullpen was absolutely dominating. 6 strikeouts in 3 innings. That was Walker, Wynn, and Miller. And Miller, has a big strikeout to end the game. He's super pumped. And, I don't know, Matthew's favorite facial hair guy, Sal, Eyebrow Sal. The man
Eyebrow
with 3,
Sal, that's right.
The man with 3 eyebrows, including one above his lips. He didn't like it. He didn't like Miller being excited. I would take that as like a compliment. Wow, that guy's really excited. He struck me out. That must mean I'm good. But, the eyebrow man, he's got low self-esteem. So he has issues, and he lashes out at other people. And next thing you know, the bench is clear, Matthew. Is this what we need? More of this?
Yes, we need more of this.
All right. Well, I tell you what, Matthew, you know what else we need?
More hits?
Yeah, or runs. Specifically, I was thinking runs. Matthew, the Giants have scored 17 runs in the last 6 games at Camden Yards and Great American Ballpark. That's 2.8 runs per game, which sucks, as Bob would say. And that's notable, Matthew, because Camden Yards and the Great American Ballpark are 2 of the easiest parks to score runs in. These are 2 of the most offensive-friendly parks in all of baseball. And the Giants scored 2.8 runs per game there. Why is this all Hunter Pence's fault?
Well, I did start getting curious about that because I feel like we're seeing a different version. Particularly, you go back to the Farhan Zaidi days when it was really emphasized that walks were a good thing. And we saw that, right? I mean, Giants players were really hunting pitches within the zone, but were letting balls that were outside the zone go. We saw a lot of walks, a lot of on base. And in 2021, it all really, really clicked, right? But this year, the Giants are last in the league in walks by a lot. It's not even close. It might be close. I'm not checking the stats, but it doesn't feel like it's close. And so I started looking at well, why is that? So I started to look at Hunter Pence's impact on the game, particularly how the Blue Jays last year, which he was an assistant coach for, approach their offense. And so last year, the Blue Jays had a low strikeout rate. They made strong contact. They had an average to decent batting average and a modest but not huge home run output, right? It was clear that their focus was on making contact. And so the Giants are last in the league in home runs, but have dramatically improved their batting average over last year. Last year, they were hitting 235. This year, they're hitting 243. Their BABIP has increased significantly from 275 last year to 300 this year, meaning the contact they're making is turning into the hits. But what they're not doing is that they are sacrificing power for contact. I mean, they're last in the league in home runs by a lot. So just started to make me think about how is the impact of this? And what really is the defining thing that came down to is that their whiff rate is down, meaning fewer strikeouts. And their zone swing is up, meaning they're swinging at more pitches in the zone. But what's also up is that they're swinging at more pitches out of the zone. And so they're doing so at a worse rate than the major league average, which is the main reason why the walks have tanked. They're not being as selective as they have in the past. So the philosophy is to attack hittable pitches, but the Giants are not doing that. They're being aggressive on pitches out of the zone as well. And so I think that Hunter Pence is trying to get guys to swing at pitches in the zone and make contact, which we're seeing. But the Giants players are also being a little over aggressive when pitches are out of the zone. They're not being as selective as they need to be. And we're seeing that in low walks and terrible at bats. So even when they're swinging the bat at pitches outside of the zone, they're making contact, which results in low exit velocity, poor contact. And someone could argue that maybe missing the ball is actually better than hitting the ball when you're hitting weakly into ground balls and weak fly balls.
Right. So you're saying the goal is to make more contact, to hit more balls into play, but the Giants are therefore swinging at more bad pitches. They're chasing more at balls that are not in the strike zone, and they're hitting balls more weakly, which is including those chase balls, and that is turning into weak ground balls that turn into double plays.
Correct. And what that also shows is that the power numbers are down a lot. They're hitting more ground balls. Last year, 40.6% of their balls that they had contact with were ground balls. This year, that's up to 46.7%. So they're hitting a lot more ground balls, which means you can't hit a home run when it's on the ground. The good news, though, Ben, is that power numbers are one of those stats that can change quickly, particularly as the weather warms up. So I mean, there are some positives. I mean, their strike percentage is down. Their swinging at balls are down. Their zone contact is up. Their batting average is up. Their BABIP is up. They just need to hit the ball harder and not go for pitches out of the zone. And I think if they can do that.
You just said that swinging at balls is down, but you meant their whiff rate is down. Swing and miss is down.
Swing and miss, yes,
right,
correct.
Because swinging
yes.
at balls is up, and that is the problem.
Yes,
yeah,
that is the problem.
It's up by like a lot. Yeah, their chase rate in 2025 was 27%. Their chase rate this year is 30%. So their chase rate is up by like 3%, which may not sound like a lot, but these numbers don't change very much. And now their contact is up as well, significantly. So
and that's the argument, right? You don't want to make contact on those pitches up or
right.
outside of the zone because you're not going to be able to drive the ball when they're out of the side of the zone.
Right,
they're not good hittable pitches.
Right, they're turning into ground balls. Right, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so basically you're saying that the Giants need to stop swinging at balls that aren't strikes, which sounds like, I mean, that's what
Simple as that, right? That's
what
easy.
I was just trying to tell Sean Encarnacion that the whole time. Just don't swing at balls that aren't strikes. Actually, it was Cliff. I mean, McGillicuddy, God.
Well, he's always striking out. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because like the kid, like on 3 pitches every time. You know, it was very Elliot Ramos. Sorry, Elliot. Sorry, Cliff.
I guess the bright side of this is that, like I said, those power numbers can change. And if the Giants can just start swinging at more balls that are within the strike zone and lay off the pitches outside the strike zone, we might see their power numbers go up to at least what they were last year. And if we can do that, then we should see a lot more runs being scored. So there is a way out of this. I think it's interesting. You get a new hitting coach that has a different philosophy than what you've done. I feel like there are certain players that you shouldn't just mess with. Rafael Devers, Matt Chapman, Willy Adames, let them be them, right? I feel like those are the guys you just leave alone. And yet they seem to have been affected a little bit by this. And so I'm wondering, like, can they just get back to what they normally do? Then the Giants should be fine.
Well, I mean, yeah. Willie's an interesting one because maybe it's getting him more comfortable swinging the bat and not thinking so much about it. I think the problem with Willie is that he overthinks things and he gets into bad places with that. But I agree. I mean, overall, I agree with you. Like, and I would have just expected that was the thing. Like, hey, we're gonna have a philosophy, but Rafi, you be Rafi, right? But like, if that's not what's happening, I question the wisdom of such a maneuver. So maybe that's why Rafael Devers has not been the same, or maybe it was some other reason. But if it's as easy as just saying, hey, stop listening to Hunter and just do your own thing, then maybe we should start doing that.
Well, sure. I think as you look at Rafael Devers, you have to remember that last year he got off to a bad start and ended up being really, really great. So maybe this is just more of the same.
Could be. Hope so.
I do have some thoughts, though, in terms of some fixes, Ben. And there aren't a lot of them.
Okay.
There aren't a lot. I mean,
Right.
you're kind of locked in when you got guys on long-term contracts who are supposed to kind of be the guys. You
Right.
can't just, like, sit them.
Right, because you're saying that sometimes don't swing at balls doesn't work.
I'm saying that maybe some other guys do that better than others.
Okay. That seems more likely to me because I feel like if only anybody knew the secret about not swinging at balls that aren't strikes, then baseball would be a really easy game.
Yeah, some people just can't help themselves, Ben.
Right. Understood. Okay, got it. So you got
so
changes.
I think the Will Brennan and maybe even Drew Gilbert call-ups could help. I mean, the outfield couldn't get any worse than it was. And by eliminating Bader, who was hitting like $115 when he went on the IL, I feel like we could see some improvement there. I think also we started to see today that or this week that now they're going to start platooning Ramos a little bit more against tough right-handers. And so you've got Will Brennan and Drew Gilbert who can both play all outfield positions. So we might see a little bit more of that. I think that could be a solution. But the one that I'm more excited about, Ben, the one that I feel like could be maybe the problem solver.
Okay.
Is we DFA Gerard Encarnacion.
Okay.
And we bring up Jesus Rodriguez.
Are you what in the what?
I will die on this hill, Ben, that is a solution to this problem, because not only does it give you a player that can play a lot of positions like Rodriguez, he can play infield, outfield, and catcher. It also frees up Suzak to DH more, to be able to pinch hit more. Like, I feel like it would open up the offense in a way that we haven't seen so far. So I think that is a better use of our bench players than Encarnacion has been so far. And if he can't remember his glove going out to right field, then I think Rodriguez is a better option.
A catcher. You want a catcher to come?
Yeah. Good.
Yes.
Good.
What? Because that's how dumbfounded I am. That's how dumbfounded I am by this ridiculously Farhan Zaidi idea. Okay? Like, this is Blake Sable playing the outfield again. No, this is Yermin Mercedes playing the outfield again. That's what this is. It's
Except
a preposterous...
that Rodriguez has actually played the outfield. Like, it's not like this is something that he's never done.
Well, I mean, just like Casey Schmidt has played first base. It's fine. It's fine.
Drastic times call for drastic measures, and we need offense.
Well, then I say call up the Eldritch Knight. If we're going to be
the
crazy.
guy that's striking out 38% of the time? Sure. Let's call him up.
But he walks a ton, too, so at least the Giants would have guys on base some of the time. I mean, let's take a poll. Listeners, who wants Bryce Eldridge over Jesus Rodriguez? See, I win by a mile. See, look at that. Look at all of them raising their hands. All right. Anyway, it's time to wrap up. We got to move on. We got to move on. All right. It's time to wrap this thing up. The Giants, Matthew, are finishing off their 10-game road trip with, I guess, a 4-game set. Yes. No? Or 10-day, 9-game road trip with a 3-game set against the Washington Nationals, a team that never feels comfortable for the Giants to play. Their current record is better than the Giants. They're at homeostasis, Matthew.
Everybody's record is better than the Giants.
Yeah, really? I didn't, is it really better? No, like the White Sox have like a 62 OPS plus. I was hoping that means that their record was worse, but okay. Well, anyway, Matthew, the Giants are playing the 8-10 Washington Nationals. And the probable starters on Friday, Matthew, Logan Webb versus Zach Littell. And then it's Adrian Hauser D's can't get out of the fifth inning against Cade Cavalli. Who's Cade? Like, why do I even have to? Okay. And then it's Robbie Ray Winday against some other dude.
Well, I think you just glossed over the Zach Littell thing. Like, just starting pitcher Zach Littell.
Starting pitcher Zach Littell. He's been a starter for years, Matthew. I don't know. This is like ever since he left the Giants.
The last we saw him was like cussing out Gabe Kapler as he walked off the mound, wasn't
That's
that right?
Right. It was, yes. And then the Rays took him, turned him into a decent starting pitcher, and now he's making money doing that. And the Giants are 6-12.
Isn't it time for the booze, boys?
No, actually, Bob, but hit me.
What are you drinking, Ben?
I say it's not time for the booze, Bob, because I'm drinking a mocktail today because I need to be driving an automobile. And, I hear that's a bad idea. So what am I drinking today? I am drinking a cocktail that I am calling an out-of-work child actor. How do you make an out-of-work child actor? Well, you put in 1/4 of an ounce of raspberry syrup, 4 to 6 ounces of ginger beer, and then 3 to 4 dashes of Angostura bitters. Put all of that into a highball with ice. Stir that gently to combine. And if you want, you could garnish that with some cherries or some lime wheels, depending on how sweet or sour you feel in the moment. And that's what I'm drinking today, Bob. The out-of-work child actor.
That's a tasty cocktail.
It was good. It was good. I mean, it's very Shirley Temple-esque. Can't go wrong with ginger beer. I liked it.
What are you drinking, Matthew?
Bob, I'm drinking a
Fire truck.
King Reds. What's in a
Fire truck.
King Reds? Well, it's got 2 ounces of rye whiskey, 1/3 of an ounce of homemade grenadine, 6 dashes of Peychaud's bitters, 1 for each Reds home run, and 1 dash of orange bitters for each Giants home run. That's what I'm drinking, Bob. Yes, it's an old fashioned. It's an old fashioned, but it just came to me. It's a red cocktail. You stir everything in a mixing glass with ice, strain it into a rocks glass with a large cube, and garnish with 3 cherries to make yourself feel better. That's what I'm drinking, Bob. A
Fire truck.
King Reds.
That's a tasty cocktail.
It's actually a lot better than I thought it would be. Not bad. I really enjoyed it. And that's a wrap, folks. Thank you for listening to another episode of Giant Cocktails. We'll be back on Monday with more Giants content. If you can't wait that long to get your fix, feel free to reach out to us on the socials, all the places that you can find us under the username @Giant Cocktails. Don't forget, you can also listen to us on YouTube. So run over there to like, subscribe, and comment. And you can also comment on Spotify. Don't forget, you can leave us a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple Podcast. I do want to say thank you to Grayson B_SF, who left us a 5-star review on Apple that said, stole one of my son's phones. And he said, he doesn't know I took his phone. We listened to your podcast to and from driving to school. He doesn't complain, so I take that as a good sign. Man, if we're able to get your kid away from the phone, I don't know if I want to be the reason for that when he comes to the realization, but hey, I'm glad we can do it. So thank you, Grayson, for the nice review.
I always forget minors listen to this show.
Sometimes they do. Ben, it was great talking Giants with you. Until next time, cheers, my friend.
Cheers, Matthew. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye. The Giants will be at homeostasis when they sweep the Nationals.
Thanks for listening to the Giant Cocktails Podcast. The next round's on me.
Of course, Bob's paying on the day I'm not drinking. That's some BS, is what that is. That's some steer pucky right there.
That was some calculating desires on his part. Yeah.
Yeah. Way to go with those calculating desires, Bob. Whatever
Why did I
those.
even say that? The word just came out of my mouth. Like, I don't know. That must be the fire trucking red.
Yeah. Normally I'd be right there with you. I'd be calculating those desires right there with you. But no. No, because I'm stone cold sober.
Which is a really rare occurrence.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to do with this
Yeah, the
information.
Giants suck, Matthew, and I'm still mad about it. Because I had a mocktail.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Once you're done with your driving, go have a fire trucking red.
Yeah. All right. I just like it because it looked like it had Campari, but there was no Campari in it.
There was not a drop of Campari anywhere near that cocktail. But maybe I should have put a drop in just to kind of make the misery even more.
Just because why should it be a pleasant thing? You know? Yeah.
Because we need it. We need a little bit of joy in our lives.
Yeah, and the Giants aren't giving it to us.